There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
That's Bitches Die Hard to Live and Let Die. Bitches Die Hard. And that's what it was all about, his fucking one-legged wife.
That is beautiful.
Paul McCartney knew that. One-legged bitch would be tramp.
Oh, what a good war marching song. You will rile many a solid army.
Hard.
Welcome to the last podcast on the left with Marcus Parks. I'm Ben Kissel. With us as always, the scientist, the mastermind, the genius.
My name is Henry Zabrowski, and I'm from Iran. This is the thing, is that you think that we're different from you, but we're not. We're just other big white people. We live in Iran.
I didn't know that.
That's the thing, so care about us. Don't war with us. We're just like you.
Well,
big and
I'm
white.
happy that you used war as a verb. Don't war with them at all. But speaking of Iran, today we are discussing...
We shouldn't immediately start like that.
It was fine.
It was good, and then it was bad.
The thing is that I like to start every show with a lot of energy.
Right.
You know, and so who's got more energy than the Iranian fucking war police coming at you over the mountain going... Right? That's energy.
The points that you make are so unbelievably beautiful.
If you took a desert warrior and gave him a podcast, it would be the most electric podcast that anyone's ever heard.
A desert warrior. All right. Well, speaking of Iran, of course, they're building nuclear weapons over there, and we're trying to stop them. Today, we wanted to discuss biological and nuclear warfare.
Chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare.
This came
Henry,
from sort of, because I've been thinking a lot about the end of the world, because let's face it, guys, the end times are nigh. Mm-hmm. They're coming.
They're happening soon.
This is the last year we're all going to be alive.
Now, is this a Mayan thing, or do you think there's an outside
influence? I think the Mayan thing is just an example. It's just that calendar is ending. We can all just face facts. Look at the fucking writing on the wall. The end times are now. It is happening now. There is no God. The world's just going to end. All right? No, we're not going to heaven. We're not going to hell. All right? The world's going to end this year. If there's something you need to do, this is the year to do it, because there will be no more years. I had a dream.
I'll tell you, Henry,
I know for a fact.
You make Jim Jones sound like Tony Robbins, because it is a terrifying prediction of the future that you have. I'm with you, though. I agree.
Nothing quite as terrified as a weeble wobble man.
Right.
Like talking
End
about
times are now.
Come on, guys. Believe me, guys. Come on.
So you did some research on chemical weapons, and which one did you want to start with?
Well, I want to kind of talk about, like, as I was reaching, I don't even know where the impetus really came from to decide to do this episode about chemical warfare, except for the fact that, like,
involved.
Weed was certainly involved.
Whiskey, I'm fairly certain.
We were going to
involved.
See Intruders.
Oh, which, by the way,
don't skip it.
Skip it. Last podcast, 2 farts down. It is not
bad one.
Can we flush it?
See, Clive Owen can act the hell out of anything. You could dress him up as a huge penis and, like, have him walk around town, and I'd still cry a little.
Oh yeah.
I'd give him an Oscar.
That cock
give
is
that
gorgeous.
fucking amazing British cock.
Yep.
All the awards.
Absolutely.
But it's not a good film.
No.
But I was trying to sit down and say, because we like to do certain podcasts. I think for a while, you know, we like to scare ourselves. We like to scare you. To me, you know, I'm a hypochondriac. I have this weird sort of orange film growing on my tongue. This is the truth. I'm very scared right now. I'm very paranoid.
Can I see it?
I'm thinking about...
Oh,
Let me
God!
see it.
It's not bad. It's not that bad.
Let me see.
It looks like an oyster. Yeah, you can definitely...
my girlfriend's got that.
What's happening? What did she get?
I don't know.
All right. This is the thing. Because I've been doing research about it.
I think it's smoking too much weed.
I literally think that it's like, I was researching about it on Yahoo Answers, and we know how reliable this is. They talk about it may be a side effect of the drugs I take for acid reflux, and then it may be sugar, maybe reacting to things going on in my mouth, because I've been eating a lot of sugar, raw, straight up.
Right.
Sugar cubes. What I like to do is I put
a little panda.
What I do is I take a sugar cube, I sort of carve it into the shape of a pill, and I push it into my nose.
Interesting.
Like all the way back into my sinuses, so I get the drip. I get the post drip down my mouth.
Yeah.
It's a little throat
so
IV.
I've been thinking about my health a lot, and there's nothing quite as scary as the sort of overreaching powers of a biological weapon and the sort of havoc that they can create. And as I was researching, first of all, the internet has a lot of I was just like biological weaponry, blah blah blah, and then the first thing is just
Sasha
how
Grey.
to kill. No, the first thing is how to kill America. It pops up how to kill America with one aerosol canister, and I was like, probably shouldn't be clicking on it.
Don't
because
click.
if you look at the rest of my browser history, and then all of a sudden oh, finally the pieces come together. He started researching how to build the super bomb.
Japanese bukkake, pea porn, a woman eating a cake, a man sitting on cake.
And then how to spread ricin as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah.
But then one thing I was really started getting into was, first of all, my first question is how do you take a disease and turn it into a weapon? I think that white people have been asking this question for a long time, as in terms of how do we kill the browns using not us. So
We've done fairly well.
We're really getting good at it.
Yeah.
But a part of it,
we're the originators.
it's pretty intense.
Smallpox, brother.
But you look at all the
First biological weapon.
we did it, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
People have been doing this, throughout the ages. If you really want to think about the original, I think the original chemical warfare, biological warfare, you're sacking a city, say Rome.
and you cough on a guy.
You know what you do?
Guy. Next
you
thing
take
you know.
you take a dead goat, you throw it in the well, boom.
Well, you've ever had someone in an airplane cough in your mouth? You know what I mean? I've been sitting on an airplane and a dude just go "Excuse me, can you?" and you feel 4 particles from his cough go directly into your mouth or into the membrane around your eyes. You know,
How close do you sit when you
I
talk
get
to
right
someone?
up in there.
And you just
I'm
imagine-
an
you just
intimate guy.
You just imagine it's Dennis Quaid from Inner Space.
That's
Just
what I think
going
every
right
time.
into your
Every
body.
time it's Martin Short's on me, I'm like, how delightful. But so I was looking at the sort of toxins that are mainly used, and you have anthrax, ricin, and a thing called sarin. And the thing about these they start from bacteria. Basically, they all come from various parts of poo-poo. They come from poo-poos, which is true. They're all it's all the stuff that kills everything around it. It's just bacteria. And what they've learned is that with each one of these diseases is that they come on like the flu. Because the reason why biological weapons are so afraid, why people are so fucking afraid of them, because that's also if you want to get way down deep into the dark pit of paranoia on the internet, this is where you go.
Now, what website did you go to check out?
I was just all over,
All
and
over.
then certain things I got from Wikipedia, and certain things you get from
So you have one paper from WebMD.
Yeah, from anthrax, which kind of fucked up because it's because some of them are runny nose. So that's some of the symptoms for anthrax. So you know for a fact when you type in symptoms like runny nose, it's anthrax, brain cancer. Oh, you got a cold. And I feel like WebMD does that to you if it just comes up cold. It's oh, pussy, you got a cold. Oh, I hope it's not cancer.
It's got to be better for the site if it's cancer.
Cancer.
Cancer cells.
Dogs can smell cancer, so if a dog's particularly friendly with you, it sometimes means you have cancer.
Oh,
So that's actually kind of true. This is, I
Sad.
think what I really hope that this episode does is make you constantly check your tongue in the mirror, wondering if you have anthrax
Yeah,
poisoning.
your tongue really, it looks like it was stained from too much General Tso's chicken.
Over
the years.
let's say I've been on a bit of a taste test with these General Tso's chickens, so that could be a part of it. But a lot of these diseases, you can get sprayed. The way when they say weaponized, that means that they've turned these natural bacteria into large spores. Because the whole point is they create these spores of this virus that it doesn't dissipate in the atmosphere, and so it can also withstand your defenses in the human body.
Right.
And so a lot of times there's many ways to do it, where it's they can sort of what they do with the planes. What's it called? I just want to
Cloud bursting.
crop dusting and stuff
Crop
like that.
dusting.
Yeah.
Dustin. I do that
Yeah.
in movie theaters.
But now they have it so they could fit it into an aerosol can.
Right.
And then you can just get sprayed in the face. And the beauty of sarin, anthrax, and ricin, the reason why the American government has put so much money into creating them is that they're not contagious diseases. So you can do super controlled, get a group of people, and then and that's a part of I was like reading one scenario is that you leave a canister of this, like, you basically, it's like an aerosol canister filled with like sarin. You like, it's got a hole in it, so it's slowly leaking, and then essentially you can infect an entire train system worth of people over a couple of days.
You can make sarin from castor beans.
That's what they're saying. So it's like you can actually just get sick from eating them raw, and then like the other thing, they like cook them in acid.
From
and that's
what
it
kind of
creates.
beans?
Castor beans.
Yeah, like where
Castor
castor
beans?
oil comes from.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's where sarin comes from. But
Okay.
as I was like reading, so the reason why they're so afraid of it is because a lot of times it takes like the
government.
the government is because the first symptoms are always like runny nose, cough. It's like it's all flu symptoms,
Right.
And then you don't die for another like 5 days, and so it's like as soon as they affect you, the terrorists can just get the hell out of town. You don't even know who hits you, and then it's like you don't even realize it's an anthrax outbreak until a week after the fact. You know, like, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shit!" Like you just thought it was a flu, and then it was like, "Oh no, it was fucking anthrax." It was a set like hit, and so it's like it becomes super diffuse, and like that's what's the most scary thing about terrorism is because it's hard to cut off the snake, the head of the snake.
It's
you know what I mean?
interesting, though. I never thought about it, but, smallpox, the thing that we gave to the Native Americans, theoretically, they could have given it back to us. So now we perfected it.
We had already beat it. That was the whole
we
thing.
had already been able to beat it.
The reason why that was so extremely effective is because our immune systems, like the European immune system, was already like we could still die from smallpox, but I mean at that point we were still it was like something that we'd get sick. But the Native
we had
Americans,
penicillin at this point, right?
No, we didn't have penicillin.
Oh, we didn't have penicillin.
No, that didn't come till much later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we gave them smallpox. Like we would just show up and just shit that was like a guy might have a little bit of a cough and it would wipe out an entire city of people, like an entire guns, germs, and steel.
And
awesome
the big
documentary.
thing, I mean, I was reading about it too, and it's like what is so attractive about biochemical weapons to these sort of super fanatical religious groups is that it's so connected to the plagues of biblical times. You know, like nothing could quite spread the amount of terror as releasing a virus into a set system. Because it's like now they're figuring out how to weaponize like Ebola. They're trying to figure out how to weaponize like all these like super contagious diseases. So like then you could create like a the cult I wanted to talk about like just recently did that. There was a can of Ebola. It was a can of Ebola they put in a paper bag that they had set on fire and left on a train.
Ooh,
and they said like
Puma
someone
maneuver.
had found it and like it was like the ultimate fucking prank where it's like instead of pounding on this bag and getting a bunch of shit on your shoe is you break a canister full of Ebola and infect 20,000 people.
Before we
with
talk
one of the
about-
most vicious diseases on the face of the planet.
Before we talk about the cult, so let's wrap up with the government, because I think the government's terrifying, but the cult stuff is even scarier.
Well, because
what's
the
the
cult
one
stuff-
with the conclusion of the government? Like, what's the main one that they're using right now? Are they mostly using the ricin and the sarin? What was the thing that
They never come out and say that they're using anything.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
and like biochemical warfare is so fucking touchy.
Right.
That
On
it's
account that it's a terrible thing
that
to
it's
do
the worst
for
thing on the
people
face of
and
the yeah.
humanity.
All you're doing is it's like, oh, you want to bring about the end times.
it's tough to have a moral high ground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
releasing Ebola onto a population of people, like, it's ludicrous. And the fact that it's like, it can't be contained. And anthrax is so cheap. Like, anthrax and sarin can all be just stuff that can be made in your house.
Right.
And so it's like, anybody can make it. So it's like, the government really, I like, that's why the government's spending so much money on creating a mechanized army. That's why we're trying to make drones. That's why we're trying to do, like, we're getting mech suits soon, mech warrior fucking
Right, like
outfits.
Halo characters.
Yeah, that's going to happen in the next 20 years.
Right.
So it's like America is doing as much as they can to dehumanize war so that it's easier to do, I think, like in the end. Where it's like you just have machines fight the war so that humans aren't involved.
Is it more? Is biological warfare a more primitive form of war?
I think so. I think it harkens back to that's what we're saying about like smallpox or whatever it is, where it's like that was so primitive. It just did it unto itself. It's like you open up Pandora's box and then all the shit just happens. You don't have to keep fighting.
It wiped out 2 continents of people.
Right, but what I'm asking, I wonder though, like no matter how far we've gone with advancement of technology and warfare and missiles that can go through a window from space, I think that nature has it right, and they'll probably. I feel like I would much rather
that's why
die from a
humankind-
bomb than I would one of these terrible biological diseases.
Oh, absolutely, because these take 2 weeks to die, and you throw up your organs.
Right.
Like that's how you die.
Yeah.
You don't like. It's not like something specific happens to you. It's like you just start throwing up your intestines. I just think but that's what they want. Like that's what we're up against now. So it's like when you quote, unless we're in a total phantom 1984 like forever war, like that could possibly be what we're heading towards.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, the war is getting so heated because we're going at them with farther and farther like mechanical ways of waging war, and like they can't change in that direction. So there's no way we can't even have an arms
You
race.
can't
with them.
throw a ricin bomb at a fucking drone.
Yeah, you can't.
It's not
going to
do anything.
So that's
The
why
cyborg army we're creating is going to be too tough to be destroyed.
But
You know
what
how
we're
we
doing-
destroy them? Computer virus.
computer virus.
Whoa!
But the other thing
We
is,
need Will Smith on this.
but now but that's what's going to probably bump our chances for more terrorist attacks happening on American ground, because we're creating even further and further resentment. So it's like their weapons are just getting cruder and cruder. There's
Right.
nothing as crude as a dirty bomb. A
Right.
dirty bomb anybody could make because the whole point of it is that it's made to be crude and awful.
Exactly.
So
I mean, you look at the guy from Oslo in Norway. Mm-hmm. That was a dirty bomb that blew up an entire fucking city block, and had he been smart enough to do it while people were working, he would have killed a lot of people.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So I think like as a prime example of this is in 1995 there was a massive nerve gas attack on the Tokyo train system.
Right.
It only killed 20 people, but it injured like 5,000.
And
like,
people are still dealing with it today.
absolutely, and the cult's called the Aum Shinrikyo. Aum Shinrikyo.
I don't
know, but
Interesting.
it's like it's a mixture of Sanskrit
all I know
and
is
Japanese.
All I know is Japanese is like the noise the women make when they're getting fucked.
And I will say, and for some reason, all Japanese cocks are pixelated. I don't understand.
It makes me so creeped out. I fucking hate it.
With the
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch Japanese porn.
It's the creepiest, weirdest
Ugh,
thing.
I hate
makes you
it.
feel
Why is it
guilty.
anonymous?
Yeah.
I don't know. When the nuclear explosion happened over there with the leak after the tsunami.
Fukushima.
The Japanese are great people, though. So the elderly folks of society
It's
have
amazing.
offered to eat all of the tainted food and drink all of the tainted
Because
water.
it takes 20 years for the cancer to metastasize in their body. So
Right.
it's like,
Fuck it.
that's why, like,
So they're
you
just-
read all
they're-
that?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
all the cleanup crews are all like 75-year-olds, like going and like cleaning. And because they live such a healthier lifestyle, like they're strong.
The Japanese are beautiful people.
My grandmother
Yeah, they
can't
are.
be cleaning out nuclear reactors. She's an old fucking crusty bitch.
Right. And that's the thing. When we get older as a society, we're like, I better not have that.
No, they get harder and
Yeah,
stronger.
they're just like, I'm going to die. Yeah, give me all the garbage I denied myself for
It's
70
pretty
years.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
pretty fucking incredible.
So
but this group was run by this madman Shoko Asahara, and like this is like I just think it's so fun because it reminds me so much of Scientology, and like I just think it's wonderful. Oh God, it burped so
Hold
hard.
on.
It
So
just
bring us
burped-
back-
I just burped into my own nose.
I saw it. It was pretty disgusting.
That is foul.
Are we at 1995 right now? We're in 1995.
No, this is in '84. This thing was started by this man named Shoko Asahara, right?
Okay.
And
In
what it is-
1984.
In 1984, and it's the classic, like, dude, down and out, sort of fuck face, Shoko Asahara, like looking for a way to make a name for himself. So he creates this sham religion that's a combo of like Buddhism and Shintoism and Catholicism and like all this stuff. Basically, starts a yoga service in his own apartment, convinces everyone that he can make himself levitate. He gets nationwide coverage in Japanese television, and what I love is I watched a bunch of interviews with him, and it's like, what I love about the tone is that he comes on super serious, but like the way Japanese television works is they're like, you mean to tell us that you can levitate? And they're all like making fun of him, and then he doesn't levitate. He's just there like, oh, I'm not prepared for right now, like I guess like Uri Geller used to do. And so this... following,
you would have to do a lot of preparations to elevate, a lot of broccoli.
I
to
just
get
don't
the
think it's
fart
going to
steam
happen
and the
on
power
TV.
to-
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it just seems like it's not the type of thing that's going to show up on Tokyo News Station. Go! Wow, excellent! You know, like, it's not going to go on that station.
Boss, the tabakeo,
You know, and then the guy in a chicken like, comes out and he gets hit with a giant rubber band, and then, like, yeah. He's not
the whole
gonna do
time
it.
I'm just jacking off with a half-hard cock. I'm like, when's this going to get good?
Where's the tentacle rape?
What the fuck is this?
But this started. Then it got recognized as a religion in like 1990.
Okay.
Where it's like he had a big enough following, and it became huge. And then he had like this it became like ministers. It became just like Scientology. It became like all this like various like different branches and like different houses. Like they all could like one was what was his name? The construction minister wrote this book about basically about how the end times were coming and that they were declaring war against the Japanese government. And so because for a whole like cadre of the Shinrokyo group ran for parliament and no one got anywhere.
So it's like the Japanese version of the Tea Party.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but
a little more sinister.
What's what happened is that they declared war against the Japanese government, and then in 1995 they gassed the train stations.
Okay.
And it was like, and it took a long time for that finally get Shoku Asahara, and then they because he ran around the world, and then they found him.
I can't believe they didn't win. I can't believe they didn't win the election with the "We'll gas the train" platform. I mean, I'll vote for it. I think that's Jesse Ventura's
it's
platform.
It's not really
now.
a populist platform.
I'd love to run
It's not populist, but it seems like it could gather a nice group of segments of society.
I'm going to run for president on the I'm going to electrocute this kitten if you don't vote for me.
I got to vote for him, dude. I love that kid.
I got to do it. I got to do it. I love that kid.
Thomas Edison did that.
You want to see his brains?
Thomas Edison did that with an elephant, and you know what? He ended up electrocuting the elephant anyway.
But guess what? And that's where the electric chair came from. Do you know that?
Whoa.
Yep.
Hold on a
That's where
second.
it started.
Back up. Thomas Edison said that he was going to electrocute an elephant for if. Okay, so what did you have to do? What did a person have to do to not get the elephant electrocuted?
What actually happened is that nothing, because Thomas Edison was doing. He had this exhibition that he wanted to prove that alternating current was more dangerous than direct current.
Yeah, going against Tesla.
Going against because Tesla was AC and Edison was DC. So in order to
is this where the band name comes from?
I think they were just lazy. They just didn't know what AC/DC meant. They just thought it was cool.
After Christ, the devil comes.
Oh yeah, after Christ. It was what was it? It's like what the fuck? The Antichrist Devil Child.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right,
so what he did is he was like, okay, yeah, this AC stuff is extremely dangerous. In order to demonstrate how dangerous it is, I'm gonna electrocute this elephant in front of a large crowd of people.
Wow, I like this.
Yeah.
And then he
rock
electrocuted
and
the
roll.
elephant to death.
I'd pay for a ticket for that.
Yeah.
The thing is, the show's only 7 minutes long. Except he was like, he probably
It's like
had
a
an
bad
opener.
UFC fight.
Of course. He had an opener. He had a juggler.
Yeah.
You know,
A dude just
Everyone's
killed a
like,
gerbil.
We want to see this elephant get fucking cuted. We want it to be cuted.
One dude just brought a horse on stage and shot it. You think that's
Cool.
good? I mean, how do you progressively get to
I don't know, honey.
electrocution
This
of an
show
elephant?
gets better and better every week. I heard next year they're gonna stab a clown.
It's such a funny idea. So I promise you, what I'm gonna do to this elephant will kill it. Oh, we must see. We must see. It died. Interesting.
Curiosity was just different back then.
Well, I bet you at Sawbuck the elephant survives.
Yeah, exactly. God damn, the age of public hangings and fucking electrocution.
That was the end of it. That was
Yeah.
the end of it. That was the end of they weren't really doing public executions much. I'd say that was kind of the last hurrah of public executions.
That elephant died a star, like the chicken there got fucked to death in John Waters' Pink Flamingos. What do you got? So what's going on with this group now? You said they caught the guy and they put him to death?
They caught the guy, put them to death, and then of course, now that he's dead, they had to even go even farther, and so that's when basically the group went even farther underground. They because how honestly, the Japanese government is really smart in the way they deal with it. They immediately took away their status as a religion, of course, and drove them all underground. And then what happened with the most recent thing? It was in 2003. That was when they found the burning canister of Ebola on the train that they said could have probably affected up to 20,000. It probably would have killed 20,000 people.
That's unbelievable.
And
crazy.
It's just.
But
You just
I
open
guess
up that door to hell, man. That's just what they want to do. They're just on the they are trying to. They're trying to open up the door to hell. They want to end humankind. They have no and it's because of a belief in nothing. It's because of a belief in a God that doesn't exist. They want to
I
kill
think
all
they
of
just
us.
want to do it. I think they would do it regardless of what their beliefs were. They could believe in nothing.
just
They could believe
validate the
worms
hell out
or
of it.
gods. I
Yeah.
mean, God knows what.
They just want to kill. And I think that's what
Right.
a lot of these people are. They're just fucking psychopaths that want to kill, and they find an excuse to validate themselves.
I also think that it's also a measure of like narcissism and like megalomania, where it's like you just really, if you look at this person, it's like Shoko Asahara just wanted to be famous. He just wants to be famous. He wants
Like
to be known
Manson.
for something, like Manson. And so like to as an ends to a means to an end, that's what they do. They just say, oh, we'll just kill 25,000 people, and that's what like.
That's what lack of talent gets you. You want to be famous, but you have no
But
marketable
no, I don't
talent.
see these open micers. They can't get it together to kill 25,000 people.
Exactly, but
the
theoretically,
thing.
some of them will have talent if they don't have it right now.
I just feel like if you can get this sort of group around you, you should just have run for politics in the first place. You should have just done anything. You should have just been in a band.
Yeah,
you
for
would have
some
gotten so much more pussy that way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. Cult leaders?
That's true.
They probably
but
get quite
you
a
know
bit of
this.
They get
But what
more-
is the difference in between groupies of the fucking of the what's it? What's a new band?
Maroon 5?
Maroon 5 groupies.
We're so bad. I don't know. I was listening to Waylon Jennings. He was kind of new.
But their groupies were just 40-year-old women. I'm just talking about like Maroon 5. Those women are beautiful that want to sleep with them.
Right.
The women that want to sleep with Shoko Asahara are like, oh master, I worship you. You know, and they're
That's
like
a pretty hot
gross.
chick, though.
Yeah,
That is kind of cool.
kinda-
Actually,
you
what
just
am I
sorta
saying?
got me
God, I
aroused.
want to be a cult leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So
what
let's if you want to be in my cult, I'm starting a cult.
Wait, you're starting a cult?
I'm gonna start a cult.
I'm starting a cult.
No, man.
Yeah.
You
All
guys
right,
are gonna have
well,
to kill
Marcus-
each other. You
No,
guys are
no,
gonna
no,
have
no.
to-
I mean, you
Yeah,
could just go to your side of your cult, and we're gonna do my cult.
Well, you do you, I'll do me.
Yeah, we're called the Bacon Brothers. Come on down to the Bacon Brothers.
Okay.
Like, we're gonna have a Bacon of the Month club,
Okay.
and then we're gonna kill 25,000 people.
That sounds great. One nice
I'll
thing-
take the love side, you take the bacon side.
Yeah.
Bacon and love. Yeah.
Let's join up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So- you guys are in a
Wait,
cult
can we?
together?
How's about this? I'm not the biggest fan of bacon. However, I do love pork. Bacon and brats.
Ooh, Porchetta Society. God, I want to be in that club.
Yeah.
You know, like the axiom, the Marx Brothers. I
guys
wouldn't
just-
belong to a club that would have me as a member. That club I would.
You guys just spread type 2 diabetes throughout the country.
Hey, man, diabetes is curable.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, one nice thing about biological weapons, I guess, they don't harm infrastructure though, like a bomb would or something like that.
Neutron
Isn't it
bomb
nice
doesn't
we get
either.
we get to keep all our things.
Right.
It's so
Which
nice.
is important, and your wife will die because you took the subway because you didn't want to fucking drive.
But
her
that
to
Xbox
work.
360 is still there.
Exactly, and it works better.
But if
and
we kill
faster.
everybody, who's going to be on Xbox Live? Who am I going to party watch X-Files with?
Party watch?
You ever do that on X-Files? You can do that through Xbox Live.
Really?
What you do is that you put on X-Files, and then someone in their house, they put on X-Files, and then you party up, which means you're watching it together.
The future.
Party. The name.
Humans are dying.
Blow us up. Blow us up.
It's the end.
Christ's
This is
sake.
what I'm saying. End times are near.
Please, if
It's
that's
over.
the future.
It's done. Everything that was gonna happen has happened.
I'm having an X-Files
Nothing
party.
good is happening.
Oh, who's coming
Nothing's
over?
coming down the
Nobody. It's fucking dreadful. All right, anything
I just
else?
want to teach sharks how to talk.
All right.
That's the last.
They got a
that's the
lot of
last
teeth.
thing.
It's going to be tough.
I'm a Mr. Shark. My name's Mr. Shark.
You sound like Jim Carrey as Fire Marshal Bill.
That's how I look.
I love you. All right, well, I guess that's going to be it. That's been the last podcast.
I'm sorry about this guy. So just know that biological warfare could happen at any time. You won't know because by the time you're sick, it's too late. So I don't know. Do something weird. Have sex with someone you never thought you would.
Kill
try
an elephant.
Try a drug you never thought that you would do it because this is it. You got
Penicillin.
9 more months. It's done.
Get
We're
pregnant
done.
just to have an abortion.
Don't have a baby. We don't need.
Well, she's
any
not
more
going to have the
babies.
baby.
No, just get the abortion.
If
What,
you
for the
do get
experience?
pregnant, though,
Get-
now, and maybe when the nuclear explosion hits, the baby will be born, and it might create a super beast. It might create a superhuman. I mean, theoretically, that's what Godzilla is, right?
Is Super Beast?
I mean, Godzilla
Jack-
is fake.
Well, is he or hasn't?
It was a giant lizard.
no, it wasn't.
It was
giant.
bigger than the dinosaurs even.
It was
I
a
know
monster.
I know that. It's
was a monster.
But
It was a monster.
What
Monster-
happened?
Lizards aren't monsters.
What happened in Japan, though, could have created a Godzilla.
Fukushima.
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 Well,
Fukushima.
I thought that whole thing was that the nuclear testing awoken the beast.
Awoken the beast. Yeah.
I thought that the nuclear testing made the beast.
I thought that they just woke up
No, I think
the
it
beast.
made
They
it.
just-
I think it made it.
Made it.
I think he just woke it up.
All right,
Are
it
you?
doesn't matter.
Can someone- I just
are we
want someone-
talking? Are we talking old Godzilla or awesome Matthew Broderick Godzilla?
I mean, also Matthew Broderick Godzilla as well.
because
They were
if
just
we're
mad that he
talking-
didn't
We got
choose
no
to do
frame of
Big Plane.
Either way. Oh, and if you want to go to a website, Chernobyl or Detroit, it's a great website, and it shows you pictures of Chernobyl as soon as the bomb hit, and Detroit now, and you have to decide which one is Chernobyl and which one is modern-day Detroit.
that's
And I'm
great.
telling you, it's impossible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that it's really unbelievable.
Wow.
All right, well, I guess we got to wrap this one up. Last podcast.
You guys are the best. I
Marcus
hope
Parks.
you don't die in the coming revolution, and if you don't, well, just join my cult, and we'll have a good time.
What's
in
the
end of
hour?
Our cult.
You guys are already infighting.
well, he's being
We're like John Lennon.
All
He's
right,
being a
don't
doofus.
join their
Look at
cult,
him, he's being
people.
a
You're
doofus.
smarter than them. They are stupid.
Stop being a doofus.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Hi, me.
Negustalations.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ding ding dong.
Don't ding ding dong.
I love ding ding dong.